Hello and welcome to another midweek episode from The Successful Mentalist. Of course, my name's Ashley Green. I'm joined by the wonderful Aidan O'Sullivan, and today, as the title said, we're going to be talking about kind of the real problem here with start of the show performances. And Aidan, we've got a really interesting story from one of our clients actually in the Learn to Thrive course. So can you fill us in on what that is?
Yeah, so one of our clients came to us. He's in the process of arranging a corporate booking that's actually coming up tomorrow at the time of recording this, which is exciting. And as part of the whole agreement process, he made this suggestion the clients loved the idea of, which was quite simply to embed announcements in their show. And he was waiting for quite a long time to actually get the information about the announcements that they wanted included. And there was one. And that one was that it's the director's 25th anniversary at the company. And although that might sound like a great thing, he thought, like, he spent a good day on this, is what we're saying here. He spent like a good day trying to think about loads of different ways, different routines. And ultimately, he came up with this great routine, which would be a random selection to pick the director through a forcing procedure of any kind, really, and then would ask the routine would develop and ask a bunch of questions so that the employees and everybody there in the Zoom call would be able to get to know the director a little bit better. And then at the end, there'd be a prediction and a little note to say happy 25th anniversary, the company, for example. And although that sounds on the surface like a great routine, ultimately, that's probably a good routine. But let's just ignore the fact that if you force or you do a random selection process and then it just so happens to be the director, let's ignore the fact that your audiences are probably going to be a little bit skeptical of that in and of itself. But the whole rest of the process, the problem that we've got is that even though that might sound great and it might feel great, the point in that was to bring the audience together, connect the audience a little bit closer to the director. We don't think that that's going to happen. In fact, we actually think that the opposite is going to happen, and we're actually going to be driving our audience's engagement down and away just by doing that one kind of routine. And Ashley, maybe you could expand on this, but like, we're not huge in terms of, we haven't done years upon years upon years, corporate environments from here, there and everywhere. We don't know a lot about what it's like as an employee in that sense. We've got experience, but it's still very limited relative to many. And for me, especially, one of the big concerns is that not everybody likes the directors. Not everybody likes the big leagues of the company or the top tier management. And there's actually quite a lot of gossip on that. Could you perhaps unpack that a little more?
Well, we know when we look at kind of my entertainment work, which is in the corporate world, that when it comes to it, everyone is a bit kind of like, yep, that guy. People resent the director, and that's because, like, when you're doing a show to everyone, like this guy's case, you're working with the main people, the boots on the ground, then the management above them, then the upper management, then the directors, and then the further up that ladder you go, people resent those people because they're like, oh, they don't understand us. Oh, we're not paid well. Oh, we just have to work. We don't enjoy our job because there's many other problems which we could get into, which we don't have time for just a tip to talk about with the corporate world. And like in the shows I've seen as well, people switch off. Not everyone enjoys their job. And when they're at corporate events, you're not going to get an audience of people who are like, yeah, I love my job. Yeah, it's great to be here. By all means, you will get some people like that. And when they appear, they're lovely, lovely people. But in my experience, you always have a whole bunch of people in your audience, which is just like, it's another work to another thing. And great. Now there's some bum licking of the director. If anything, the idea from one of our clients here was to really connect all the employees to understand the director more, when in fact, because there's already that negative kind of connotation to do with them, if anything, trying to bring them into his world is switching them off and causing more of a divide and more awkwardness, when in reality it'll be far much better to just do the show in general and maybe not even do this. But that's my thoughts, when it comes to the show performances.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we are going to talk about this in greater depth in a longer form episode in a couple of weeks. Actually, we're going to unpack a bunch of the different approaches that we have taken and we see work really, really well, and actually give you a bunch of different tools so that you can go and do this star of the show style stuff, but without it coming across badly in this sense, and actually allowing it to really connect your audience rather than splitting them up and segmenting them out in a way that you don't want as you're a performer. But we thought about this, and again, we spoke about this and had a little look and looked at our experiences of this, and we thought, well, this surely can't be the only problem with when it comes down to star of the show. Well, this can't be the only case. Like, it can't just go wrong in the corporate world by having this one person on a podium and really polishing them and making them look amazing or connecting the audience to them. And we had a little look around, and it didn't take long. We thought, what's the complete opposite to corporate? And we just went, I don't know, children's entertainment? And then realised almost immediately that the penny drops there as well. Like, in children's entertainment, it's all well and good being able to say, oh, the birthday boy or the birthday girl is able to do one thing, or you use the birthday girl in a routine, or you use the birthday boy and give him a gift, or this, that, and the other. And ultimately, you got to look at children here in children's psychology. They have got emotions that are basically jam-packed and on steroids. Like, one birthday kid gets a gift, all the kids are going to go nuts. One birthday kid gets to help out the magician, they're all jealous that they didn't get to help out the magician. So you actually have to look from a wider act perspective as a children's entertainer. Not that we've done it, but we know people that do, and this is all comments from them. It's something that we've got to be really, really careful of, and just putting that one birthday kid on a pedestal, even for just a few moments, in a way that doesn't allow the group to get together, can actually be incredibly destructive. And the worst thing to do at kids' parties is get kids crying. Unless you want them to cry, in which case, by all means, keep going ahead and doing that. That's fine.
Sounds like you're describing my shows there.
Very true, very true. But yeah, like it's a bizarre concept, and we've explored this a little bit more. We've looked at different industries and different niches and stuff, and we are going to talk about this in a lot more depth in a couple of weeks. But yeah, it's just a really bizarre point. Like, we've never really done this whole star of the show to that extent, in that way, at least not twice, or at least not twice in the same way, because it's a very uncomfortable situation at the best of times.
Yeah, it really is. And at this point, I think it will be, fascinating for us, because we've got these whole thoughts on it. We're going to expand on it in a bigger episode later on the TSM podcast, so keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, I think we'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts about the whole star of the show performances. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Are you not fussed? Or have you never heard of them before? So if you head over to the TSM network, you'll find a post in there. And we'd love you to leave your comments and honest viewpoints. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Or is there anything else which comes to mind for you? Go over there, leave a comment. We'd honestly love to hear your thoughts. And if you're not already a member of our fantastic closely knit network of magicians and mentalists and entertainers from all around the world, then head over to thesuccessfulmentalist.com/community. You can sign up for free today and join in on all of these wonderful conversations.
Exactly that. And this is the key. We want to hear your experiences, because at the end of the day, we're operating from a very limited field here, and we only get to well, I mean, I say we only get to talk to our clients, we get to talk to you guys as well. This is the whole point in that community, is allowing us to actually push new grounds and actually widen our knowledge across the world. You might be having a fantastic career in the corporate world doing what we've just described as us polishing, or whatever the heck we used to describe it. Like, you might be doing that, in which case, come and tell us that we're doing it wrong. Come and share this information. And who knows, we may even get your comments featured actually on the main podcast in a couple of weeks' time. But with that said, best of luck with everything. Keep your eyes peeled for a new episode of the TSM podcast, and come and join that conversation. Catch you soon.